Alright guys, in this video we're going to go over basic sheet metal welding, welds you need to know for NOCTI, how to prep the panels, especially for the NOCTI welds, whenever you get to the NOCTI test. Once again, this video will be on our YouTube channel, it'll be on our canvas, you can go in there and check it out. In a previous video we went over welder setup, we'll touch on that again, but I want to focus on the actual prepping the panels and getting panels welded in this video. Once again, safety, make sure you have a welding helmet, welding gloves, welding jacket, and safety glasses on at all time, especially while you're inside the welding area and you're welding. So, we're going to be using our Miller 140-110 welder for this video. Like I said, we went over in the previous video how to set it up, turn it on. We already got our gas set, 27 cubic feet an hour. We'll check our wire speed and our voltage settings. We're going to be right around a 5 on voltage. We're going to start at a 60 on the wire speed. So we take our voltage times 10 plus 10, so 5 on the heat, times 10, 50 plus 10, 60 on the wire speed will get us close. So our welder's set up, ready to go. We want to prep our weld coupons. These should be in the drawer underneath the welding table. If they're not, you can find me and we'll get you some. We'll get them made. We're going to take the 1/4 inch punch. We're going to punch. All you need for your welding, for your NOCTI test, for the practice, is 3 of these coupons. They're 2 inch by 3 inch. If they're not in the drawer, you may have to make some. Take the punch, punch 3 holes, like that, in 2 of the panels. 2 of the coupons, I should say. The welding portion of your NOCTI consists of 3 different types of welds. You have the plug weld, which is what we're going to do with these holes here. The butt weld with a backer is like this. So you got 2 pieces of metal right against each other. You got a piece behind it. That's your butt weld with a backer. Then you're going to do a lap weld. All a lap weld is simply will be like along this edge here, where you just have metal laying over top of one another. So with these 3 coupons together like this, you can do your NOCTI practice. Big thing is, you got to have metal clean. As you can see on these panels, there is paint on them. It's silver paint. So we need to take a grinder with 36 grit or 24 grit pad on it and clean the paint off of it. You don't want to be wearing gloves whenever you're using a grinder. You should never be wearing gloves. If you want, you can hold them with vice grips, but we're just cleaning paint off. Make sure you have it against something. And then we'll grind right on the holes and right where we're going to be welding. You want to make sure you're doing it on both sides. We're going to be grinding down, or we're going to be welding down this edge and the back side, so we want to clean it up. Even if your panel doesn't have paint on it, you want to make sure you're cleaning it up so that you get a good clean weld. Any paint or rust that's on these panels is going to cause impurities in the weld and make it a dirty weld. This backer piece we're going to be welding on pretty much all of us, so we'll just hit it the whole thing. Just make sure to keep your fingers out of the way and Word of warning, it does get a little bit hot, so you may want to make sure you're holding it with vice grips if you don't like the heat against you. Now to set this up, so we can get our 3 welds, we're going to set it something like that. So you're going to have your 2 welds there, your plug welds there, and here's where you'll do your lap weld. Big thing when welding, you got to make sure that the metal is tight together. If you have gaps between the metal, you're going to end up burning through. You're not going to get a clean weld. So we'll get that right there. So now you're set up to actually start welding. You got your panels cleaned up, you got your welder on, all your safety gear on, you're ready to start welding. When you weld, obviously that is way too much wire sticking out the end of the tip. You want about 1/4 inch to 3/8 of wire hanging out. You use weld pliers, what you do, clear at the bottom down here is a set of cutters. This side over here is indented. So we'll slide the indented side right against, lay it against the tip, and we'll cut that off. That's about how much wire we want sticking out the end of the stinger whenever we're welding. Every time you stop welding and start welding, you want to cut that off again to get a fresh, nice tip on there. If you just stop and start, you're going to have the impurities from the weld getting back into the new weld. Put our helmet on, put our gloves on, make sure we have our ground hooked up on bare metal. You can hook it to the vice grips. Now we're ready to start welding. Whenever I'm welding, I always try to use, I'm right-handed, I try to use my left hand to steady the stinger and my right hand to actually run everything. You don't want to be trying to hold it like this welding because you'll end up shaking too much, you're not going to get a nice clean weld. So whenever I'm welding, like I said, I like to try to steady myself with my left hand and then I'll start welding with my right hand. When doing a plug weld, that's the one I'm going to do first. I'll start in the center, go to one side, then I'll work my way around it. So what I mean by that is, I'm going to start with my lead right directly in the center. I'm going to work to one side and then just start working my way around until I got the whole plug filled in. That's what we want our plug welds to look like. As you can hear that welder there, it was actually struggling a little bit. That to me means that our weld speed, our wire speed is too low. It was trying to burn back into the tip. So we're going to crank our wire speed up a little bit for the next one. When you're doing your NOCTI test, you'll have those 6 plug welds. You'll have that whole vertical backer and then that one lap weld. So you tell the judge which one you actually want judged. So we're going to make sure we cut this off to get a nice clean weld. And we'll try another one. Make sure that you still have a good tight fit between the 2 pieces of metal. Alright, so at this point, we have all our plug welds done, all 6 of them. We'll start on our vertical backer, or I'm sorry, on our butt weld with a backer. Once again, you're going to make sure that your clamp is on bare metal. Get the puddle hot, and then just start making C motions back and forth, or you can make little circles, dragging it down across as you go. Got done with our lap weld. Go ahead and do our, we got done with our butt weld, now we'll do our lap weld. So you'll constantly be playing with the wire speed and the heat settings till you get it correct. On your NOCTI test, you'll be able to practice a little bit before you actually do the test weld that you're going to turn into the judges. When you're back here practicing by yourself, that's the 3 welds I want you doing, not just laying metal on top of one another and welding together. Do that, get another set, do that, get a Sharpie, write your name on it, and give it to me, and we'll turn it in for a skill grade. When you're all done welding, you want to make sure you clean up our area. You want to shut the welder off, turn the gas off, so we'll turn it the whole way to the right. And then make sure you back your regulator out, so you turn it the whole way to the left. Wrap your welder up. That'll be that. If you guys have any questions, come find me. We'll see if we can help you out.